Okay, we are ready to get started here. 안녕하세요, Jinshi, and everyone else, for another episode of Eat with Soul. And I'm here together with Miss Chloe, and we're going to be going over
국물 떡볶이.
국물 떡볶이. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, when I hear 떡볶이, it makes me think of like a market in Korea and then going and sitting down and just like picking out 떡볶이 and maybe having some soju and then this.
Soju with 떡볶이?
Makgeolli, I don't know, whatever.
Maybe
Yes, makgeolli. It all tastes good, right? And then also odeng, and then fried, 튀김.
튀김. So 국물 떡볶이
Yes.
actually is for people who like 튀김, so they can use this sauce. And then, but because we don't have a 튀김 today, I'm using ramen, so we're gonna have a lat 떡볶이.
Okay.
It's loaded with carb.
Oh my God, that's fine. I'm really hungry, so yeah. This will be perfect. All right. So before we hop in, I just wanted to hear maybe like if you have any historical references about tteokbokki, anything that like where did it originate?
Well, that I don't know, but I found out that the tteokbokki using gochujang, which is a Korean
the red pepper paste?
Yeah. It actually started after the Korean War, 1953, and there was a grandma, Miss Ma. She went to a Chinese restaurant opening, and then she dropped the rice cake into the jajang sauce by accident. And then she thought, oh, this is not bad. So I guess she developed the recipe using that black bean sauce mixed with the Korean pepper sauce, and then start selling. Do you know what a 즉석 떡볶이? If you go to Sindangdong, it's an area in Seoul where you actually make 떡볶이 right at the table.
Really?
Like what we're doing now.
Right.
Yeah, it's called the 즉석. 즉석 means like instant.
Instant, right?
떡볶이. So I read that that's how it started. So,
interesting.
I don't know if there was a tteokbokki before 1953. If there was, then they were not using the hot pepper sauce.
Okay.
But it might be just a rumor.
Okay.
So check it, but I thought it was cute.
Whatever the case, it's delicious.
Mm-hmm. And then today, so should we just start?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and dive in.
So I am actually using the side tteokbokki. So this is not flour rice cake. This is actually side tteokbokki, just pure rice.
Okay.
So there are differences between rice and flour. The rice tteokbokki has a less protein, so it is more chewy, but it doesn't last too long. It becomes soggy. Okay. And also the sauce doesn't really permeate into the rice cake. Is that how you say?
Yep.
So you can taste the rice cake more than the sauce the more you chew, because probably the sauce will stay outside.
Right.
Then, but if you're using the flour, then that lasts longer. So when you go and buy tteokbokki, like in the market, they tend to use flour tteokbokki because they tend to stay, they don't go soggy.
Interesting. And is it a mix between rice and flour, or it's entirely rice?
It should be. I always use rice. It's just I don't know why. I feel like this is more healthy. And also, if you find chiriga, I like this brand. You can buy in the States, but I feel like the quality is really good.
Okay.
But on the other hand, not only the wheat or flour rice cake tend to not go too soggy.
Yes.
Also, it sucks all the sauce. So actually, if you
when you
like
bite into it,
sauce,
yeah.
yeah, when you bite into, so that's the difference. Like if you can decide which kind
Okay,
rice cake you want to buy.
yes,
And then, like I said, I already cooked ramen with
okay,
the instant noodle. And then to make it a little bit more protein, to have a more protein, I'm using boiled eggs.
okay.
And
I like it.
also, thank you. And also, when I made a tashi stock, I used the chicken broth as well. So they're like 20% like grams protein.
Right.
It's up to you whether you do it or not. And then for vegetable, onion if you want to. This is optional. Green onion, I recommend. It definitely make the taste different. I think onion make it sweeter, so you can use less sugar. And also, it's up to you, but like my daughter likes vegetables, so I tend to use a lot of green cabbage.
Sorry, can you go over the names in Korean
Yeah.
for these as well?
Of course. So this is pa, green onion, pa, and this is onion, 양파, and green cabbage, 양배추.
양배추.
Uh-huh.
What is the yang for? There's yang and yangpa and yang and 양배추.
I wonder if it's saying 양배추, 양파. I have to check.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a napa cabbage, but this one's called 양배추. I almost feel like I have to check it.
Yeah, we'll look into it.
Yeah, let's look into it together. And then this is odeng, Korean fish cake.
Mhm.
So it's up to you how you want to cut it, but I like cutting it kind of long. And then it's odeng. Did I say odeng?
Yep.
And then just cut one more time. Make
Okay,
them into
kind of like triangles.
yeah, triangles. And then I'm gonna cut more 양배추, but make sure that you don't cut too thinly because you wanna have a kind of a chewy vegetable, and not soggy vegetable. If you cut your vegetable too thinly, then they actually become too mushy. So I don't know if I'm gonna use all of them, but let's put this away. And also for duck, whether you're using wheat, flour or rice, make sure that you soak them maybe 5 to 10 minutes before you use them. And I use filtered water because I know the rice cake is gonna soak up the water. You don't have to.
Right.
So now this is a fun part. Let's make the sauce. On the recipe, it says 3 cups of dashi. If you're really busy, then just to use water and then use one of those little coin or pack,
Right,
you
right,
know.
right.
So this
So
is a
like
3 cup.
Leon.
Yes, this is a 3 cup right there. So we're gonna put that. So, okay. So always start with the dry ingredients when you measure, then you don't have to keep washing this, you know what I mean? It's a lot, so
And what is this here?
sugar,
Uh-huh.
설탕,
설탕.
1 and 2. Okay, got it. And then 1 tablespoon of Korean chili pepper. That. So like now I feel like I'm making soup,
Right.
right? And then 1 tablespoon of, see how I don't have to wash it?
It looks like it's going to be extremely spicy. It's so red right now.
I know. Oh, that's why they have it with the bacolinas.
To kind of deaden the
Yeah,
taste
yeah,
or
because
the spiciness.
Yeah, broccoli is sweet and milky, you know. Okay, that was 1 table, so 2 tablespoons of sugar, 설탕, 2 tablespoons of
Red pepper, that was one.
one. Oh, I see.
Red pepper.
One. And then actually I used only 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 간장, so far. And then I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons of gochujang.
And this is to feed how many people?
I mean, for this, I would say you at least 3 people,
Okay.
you know. Oh, and then if you wanna double the recipe, you don't have to double the soup major ingredient. What, how should I say?
The soup ingredients?
Yeah, 1.5.
Okay.
Sorry, today.
So like for the sugar and the red pepper paste and the red pepper flakes.
Yes. And then the best way to measure that is just to use ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And it says, can you increase 1.5? Then
It does the work for you.
Yeah. So
you gotta turn it up. Did you turn it up?
not yet.
Okay.
Before we do it, thank you. I want to just mix. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And then I think it will take, depending on what you're using, 3 to 4 minutes.
You know, what comes to mind for this when you mix it before turning it on is that because once you mix like the gochujang, the paste, then it becomes all spread out.
Yeah.
So then when it starts to cook, it cooks evenly.
Right.
Whereas if it's still clumped together when you turn the heat on, then you know some parts are gonna cook more quickly than other parts.
And you know, this is so easy to make. Don't buy those pre-made sauce that has so many chemicals you don't want to eat. You just saw how easy it is, right? And then I'm just doing it slowly so that you can watch what I'm doing. But when I do it at home, it's just like, I mean, this
Black all over the place.
We'll clean that. But I really don't like those pre-made sauce. Really, those are not healthy for you. So it will take about 3 to 4 minutes. So this is a fun thing to do with your friends. If you're having your friends over, you can prepare everything and just up to this point. And then when your friends get home, arrive, then this is what you start, like, you know. And then, yeah, we're gonna let it cook 3 to 4 minutes. And then we're gonna put rice cake first. And then we'll let that cook maybe 3 minutes. And then once that's cooked, we're gonna put other ingredients and then let it boil. And then kind of see what kind of a thickness you like.
Okay.
But this might not have a lot of sauce because even though I already cooked my ramen,
yes,
it's gonna soak up the
ramen will soak up this. Okay.
So if you're planning to dip your chicken,
yes, the fried foods.
Yeah, I say then increase the sauce amount, you know, like 1.5. But if you're not using ramen, that's fine. And if you're not using vegetable, you're like, oh, what should I do? Should I use the same amount of water? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yes, so that's.
I have a question.
Yes.
This udang looks like it is mixed with a lot of vegetables. It's also a different color than a lot of the udang I've
I
seen.
want to show you what I'm using.
It's pulling it out from the magic fridge.
I like this brand. Again, it's a tone one. It says it's like filter, 2 filters, so it's a very clean oil. They're using very clean oil.
Oh, the oil was filtered twice.
Yes, twice. Okay. And then the vegetable, it's like vegetable 어묵, 야채 어묵. But also this is fun. In Korea we use Chinese words also.
Right.
And it says 안심 유. So an means comfortable, and then shim is a heart. You, I need to look up, but 안심. So 안심 means, oh, your heart is comfortable.
Right,
so it means, oh, you know it's safe.
Right.
So if you're concerned, maybe someone might say, you know what, you're in. and then 안심이다.
Right.
You know, it's like oh yeah. So thank you, because it said 안심.
Okay, so it's the vegetables that'll make it change the color, because usually it's a really beige color.
Right. And
so,
then
okay.
also it could be that maybe some of them are almost like brown, because maybe
Oh, right.
they don't filter the oil.
Got it.
And also I forgot to tell you, I blanched my odeng
Yes.
to get rid of even more oil.
Really? So how do you blanch? You set it in water or what?
Yeah, you boil water and just to like blanch it maybe for 2 minutes.
Yes.
You don't want it to be too blanched that you lose all the flavor,
Right,
you know. So you, depending on how much you're using.
Interesting.
But like even this, I got rid of a lot of oil because I already cooked and then rinsed out, you know.
Okay.
Okay, this one's for about four, but see how well mixed.
Yes.
Yes. So I actually skipped 1 tablespoon because my daughter and I, we do not like tteokbokki too sweet. But if this recipe feel like it's not sweet enough,
Then you can add.
then I recommend that you use 1 more tablespoon and see if you like. But I'm gonna put onion because onion does make add some sweetness, you know. Too. And then of course even the cabbage. You know, when I don't have this kind of cabbage, I use napa cabbage. And if I have leftover daikon, I make them into matchstick and then add them at the end, and they make the soup really 시원해.
시원해.
What kind of
In one of our classes,
impression?
we just learned that phrase.
시원해. How would you
시원하다.
say in English?
Refreshing. It can be refreshing in
Refreshing.
certain circumstances. Yes.
Or it's like if you killed your enemy.
Yeah. Not relief. What's the word I'm looking for?
시원해.
Yeah. It's almost like liberating.
Yeah, liberating, but don't do it. Just do it in your mind. Yeah, you don't want to know what's going on up there, but yeah, don't do it.
We have one question. Do the veggies make the sauce more watery because of the water inside the vegetables?
That's why I'm waiting to put. So what I'm gonna do is that's a really good question. I'm going to let it boil, and then we're gonna put tteokbokki, rice, cake, and then let the rice cook. And then we're gonna put everything else at the end so the cabbage does not release too much liquid.
Okay.
You know, and then I also cut them kind of thick, not thinly. So yeah, we're not gonna cook them for very long. We'll just let it go soggy.
Right.
And then, now it's boiling here. I guess I do have a taste.
Oh my gosh, I hope you're cooking along with us, because if you're not, I will be so jealous.
Oh, why
this
did you
looks so delicious.
Or why don't you just come over?
That too.
Oh.
We're gonna be having some live sessions very soon. So if you're out of town, for example, if you live in some place like New Jersey, you're gonna have to fly out here for one of our live sessions.
You know what? I think I might put a little bit more gochujang.
Okay.
Because let's do that broth was a little more than I expected. So I put about like how much? Not even half, like half more spoon.
Right.
Half
a tablespoon.
Yeah. I'm glad I tasted.
Now it wasn't spicy enough, and that's why you put it in.
Yeah, it didn't have enough umami, like the depth. It was a little bit too watery.
Got it.
So like sweetness is fine. I might add soy sauce later, but now I'm going to put dog.
So from this point on, it's kind of like adding the ingredients, right?
That's why
it seems like a lot of Korean dishes are like this. You make the broth of the soup and then you just kind of add in everything else, like the tang.
Yes, yes. But you know, there are many different ways to make tteokbokki, like the one my daughter really likes. I actually saute all my ingredients in olive oil first, and then add the sauce without. So Minji will be like, oh, okay, because she doesn't like too much sauce. She doesn't like 물 tteokbokki. She likes that more dry.
Right.
What do you call it? More like you know, parmesan,
Thicker.
like
The thicker one.
yeah,
Right?
the thicker one,
Right.
like sauce that
Yes.
almost there's no soup.
Right.
But this is for, I thought that this is fun if you're having people over. Or like I said, if you want to have a ramen tteokbokki, you definitely want to have more sauce.
Right.
So we'll let it cook.
We'll have to do one episode where we have maybe like a bunch of Korean finger foods. Like if you want to have guests over and like Korean hors d'oeuvres.
I thought maybe a bulldog. Bulldog is what would you say?
Fired chicken.
Yeah, fired chicken that you have like mozzarella cheese on top.
Yes.
And then you have a chumakbap on the side,
Okay.
which is like a little rice
Rice ball. Right.
Yeah, with the kim, which is seaweed. So make sure that you stir so it doesn't really stick to the bottom.
Oh no, on the East Coast it's 8:30 right now, so too late to cook. Sorry, Jinshi.
Oh, thanks for joining.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for joining. And these are recorded, so of course you can come back to it later and then cook tomorrow or the next day.
But like I said, I am intentionally cooking very slowly to show you what I'm doing and so we can talk. But normally it takes less than like 15 minutes.
Right, okay. I always get intimidated by Korean food because all of the ingredients, and I think, oh my gosh, it's gonna take forever to like chop all of this and add all of that. But the way that you cook, I notice it's very efficient and quick.
Like japchae, a lot of people saute each vegetable and season each vegetable.
Yes.
Actually, it's not that healthy for you because that's a lot of sodium and oil. So what I do is I actually steam all the vegetables together and then season them together and then add the veggie to the glass noodle, and it tastes just same. But so much easier to cook.
You steam it. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, like I try not to use oil a lot. I mean, talking about health using the ramen sounds wrong. Okay, so.
Oh, Jinshi says, at least I can have food dreams. That's right. You can dream. If someone saw you in your sleep, you know.
But
having chopsticks.
You know, I also always, not tonight, but I always, if I have my non-Korean friends, because Korean food is so spicy, I always just put a platter of cut up vegetables like carrots, cucumber, what do you call those peppers? Like green or yellow pepper.
Right. Bell peppers.
Yeah, so they can just because Korean food is sometimes, unless you have a panchan side of dishes, you don't get a lot of vegetables.
Right.
You know, so yeah, that's a good idea too. Instead of making salad, because Korean food tend to be very how should I say, strong, like it has a very strong flavor.
Right.
If you add some salad, it doesn't really work that well.
Right.
So I just cut up some fresh vegetables, and like if you're having it and if it's too spicy, you can just chew on cucumber.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But set it off.
Yeah, I make sure that my guests they get enough vegetables. Yeah, see, you can tell that the sauce is not really
it's not as thick.
Thick.
It's like if you go on the street and like a street vendor's.
Right.
So when you have chiksok tteokbokki?
즉석 떡볶이.
The instant tteokbokki? Is it more like this or is it more like the thicker style?
It's more like this, and then it's also more like a hot pot. So you go and then you ask 할머니 or the people like, oh yeah, we want the keram, we want the ramen, we want the glass noodle, we want 튀김, we want kimbap, and then they would just bring everything, and then you guys cook together, you know. But it's really fun.
So now I see the thought, some of it is breaking. Is that an issue? Kind of like it's cracking in the middle and almost starting to split?
With the rice cake, I actually don't mind it because like I said, it doesn't soak up the sauce too much. So sometimes I intentionally, but if you want to have a guest, then probably you do want to use just the wheat flour because like I said, if you guys are talking, it tend to like stay chewy longer, and then it soaks up all the sauce, you know. But like I said, I just like rice, and I always also make sure I buy 국산.
Yes.
Which means it is from Korea, like So because sometimes like from China or from other places, maybe the rice powder is not as chewy as the other one, or maybe not better quality. So I tend to use 국산.
So right now, what are we looking for in order to add the rest of the ingredients?
I'm looking for, I don't want it to, the rice cake. So first, what you would do is probably check the chewiness, the rice cake, to make sure that it is cooked.
Okay.
Because you don't want to have it uncooked, right? But I also know that once I feel like that this is all cooked, can you tell that the soup is actually becoming like thickening from the start? That's from the rice cake. And then, so I'm letting it cook a little longer. And then also, I think this little one is weaker than my actual stove.
No, the gas.
So now I'm like, I'm saying that it's taking a little longer.
Okay.
Than when I cook in my regular stove.
So normally you would wait just a couple of minutes or so?
Yes.
Okay.
But this is actually, if you're talking with your friends, this is also fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
감사합니다.
감사합니다. 고맙습니다. Yeah, so I can see that the dog just start cooking. I see the color, it's less transparent or translucent, or what would you say? And then the soup also looks thicker than before, right? And then this is the time. I feel like I could wait a couple more minutes for I'm gonna wait because once I put other ingredients. Do you have any other question while I'm
What are some other ingredients people might add aside from these? There's the odeng, the 파, 양파, 양배추.
양배추. I think this is like basic.
Basic, okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna put, okay, this actually, I'm gonna put.
What about meats? Do people add maybe like shrimp or?
Shrimp is not common. I'm putting a little less than tablespoon. This is the last time you can add or change your sauce. So make sure that you taste now. And then if you have to change, then make adjustment now, not later. Oh yeah, better. So I'm gonna change my recipe when I send them out to you, but this is so good now. Okay, I'm very happy. So now let's do this. Let's put the vegetable first. Oh, actually, I could have put some udon first, and then Ramen, I'm gonna wait a little bit because I don't want to suck up all my
Right.
sauce. The vegetable, it looks a lot now,
Wow.
but it's not. And then I'm gonna leave a little bit of green just for later. Garnish.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And then here. Let it cook. And I got boiled eggs.
All right. Oh my goodness, I'm so hungry.
So it's been raining all day long and it's been an active day.
This is a perfect comfort food. Anshin. Anshin
Yeah,
pop.
now I feel better. So I have to adjust the gochujang, which is a Korean red pepper sauce. And then, so I would say if you're gonna make it tomorrow, use 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 3 tablespoons of the red pepper sauce, 1 tablespoon of chili pepper. If you don't have it, I think that's okay. And then 3 cups of cashew. Yeah, that was, see why I'm not putting the ramen yet. I
Oh,
want that cabbage to be more how would you say,
Tended to by the soup.
tender or
But yes, it's already substantially less soup. So if you
Yes.
put the ramen in, then it just soaks everything up. Now with the eggs, you boil them beforehand. Do you boil them maybe halfway, or do you boil them all the way and then put them in?
if depending on you, I cook the way I want before I put them in the sauce. But it's up to you, you know. But definitely it will cook more.
And with this dish, typically, do people, even if you have ramen, do people have it together with rice or some type of noodles?
Oden soup. The
Oden
fish cake soup.
This together with soup.
Yeah, they also make a daikon and fish cake.
Yes,
Oh my God, Gina, I wish you were here. This smells so good.
it does. It's
Wow.
and so there, I guess there's enough starch with the bulk and then also with the ramen.
Ramen. But I also put chicken bone broth to add protein.
Yes.
And it made the broth taste good or sauce
Yeah.
taste good. And also we got this we got egg, keran, and I don't know, fish cake has one without it. But definitely wheat flour rice cake or flour rice cake have more protein than rice cake. Oh, some people put kummandu.
Right.
Kummandu is a fried dumpling.
Dumplings, yes.
Yeah, but I don't like it. But at this point, if you're a shabu shabu thinly sliced beef,
Yes.
this is a tanjong.
Really?
Yeah. It tastes good,
Interesting.
but
When you do for the chiksok
Yes.
tteokbokgi, do they do it for you or they give you all
no,
the
you
ingredients
do
and
it like
yourself?
you know when we go to hot pot
Yes.
restaurant,
They-
yeah, like
everything raw.
Yeah, everything raw and then
Got it.
but they will bring out the sauce, you know, and then maybe duck itself, you know, sauce and duck, let it
Yes.
cook and then let you add other things, you know.
Okay.
It looks good. I mean, the sauce looks like this is the kind of thickness I like. So see it's not clear anymore.
Right.
And then now I think we can put, so like say, we're eating now, we can just bring entire thing to the table and just start eating, you know? Okay, now let's put this. The rice is completely cooked. Not the rice, the noodle completely cooked. All you want is just cook up the, yeah. So if you go to Korea and then eat at the market, even though you don't add oil, you will see a lot of oil because it's from the noodle, from the odeng. But because I blanched everything and cooked everything, this is a little, so it's your preference. If you like more, you know, with oil, and then you don't have to blanch. See, now it looks really good. Okay. So,
That was very quick.
yeah, but I think usually it takes half of the time we spent today. And I'm gonna put the rest for now, just to make.
The garnish.
Yep, so anytime you wanna taste, hold on, just a minute. Let's see. There we go. And then I will give you some soup. Yeah, and then you have to say, hot, very hot, so heat.
Ramen.
Ramen and if you can get veggie. I'm gonna turn it off now.
Okay. All right. Here we go. I feel like one of those Korean TV shows where they just watch people eat and their
Yeah,
expressions.
mukbang.
Oh my stuff.
You like it?
Oh, that is it reminds me of Korea.
Okay, great, great.
It kind of releases 안심을 줘요.
안심을 줘요, 행복을 줘요, or happiness.
행복을
행복해.
주고.
한국 여자들 밥 먹을 때 특히 girlfriends. 행복해.
And the rice, the texture is perfect. It's like it's warm all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And when you bite into it, it's like the perfect amount of chewiness.
Yeah, so rice cake that's made of rice is like 쫀득쫀득, chewy. So that's why people like it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a flour, it's not chewy, as chewy as a rice.
Right.
But like I said, you will get more sauce.
So you'll have more flavor. But this is fine.
So you can actually compare with ramen. Ramen will be less chewy, but it will have more sauce.
Mm.
You see? And then the tteokbokki has less sauce, but then it's more chewy. So the texture you can compare.
Wow, this is so good. I think that the tteok even absorbed more of the sauce than the udang.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's what it tastes like.
But
Wow, this is delicious.
okay.
Well, any questions from the audience? Oh yes, it's a very good kimchi. Yes, it's very good. And I have to thank you because, again, I'm always intimidated by Korean food, but the way that you make it so efficiently and so quickly, it gives me relief and like, okay, maybe I will start making Korean food every once in a while. I never cook Korean food. I probably shouldn't say this on the Korean cooking show, but it gives a lot more comfort.
Yeah, comfort.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not so intimidating. So this is definitely very delicious and reminds me of Korea. It provides more than just food because once you eat it and you have thought, it puts you back in Korea and
Mm-hmm.
it gives you kind of like that nostalgia of
Right.
being there
Yeah.
or being at a certain place, whether you're at the market or whether you're eating with friends or somewhere, it gives that. So thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
All right. Well, oh, what do you think about cheese on tteokbokki?
Oh yeah, so Minji likes it, so that's a really good idea. Like I said, when we make buldak,
Yes,
here's fire.
right. Fire chicken.
The stir-fried chicken. They put a lot
A
of
lot of
shredded
cheese, yeah.
mozzarella cheese on the top.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, excellent, excellent. Thank you again, Miss Chloe. Thank you all for attending today or tonight. And this was Tteokbokgi, and you will see us in the next episode of Eat with Soul. So everyone enjoy your evening, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. Thank you.
네,
안녕히 계세요.
네. 같이 먹으면 좋은데.